From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Good Friday morning. Yesterday was a beautiful day and today is going to be all the same, but unfortunately our forecast is going to stay dry, trending hotter into the mid-90s by the beginning of next week, and then a very concerning round of winds for next Tuesday and Wednesday, but really all next week we're going to be concerned about fires starting. Okay, wind gusts for this morning. It's a little bit breezy in the valleys, not seeing too much elsewhere. And then in terms of our temperatures, we are in the 50s and 60s, 54 for the Tri-Cities, 63 for the Hanford site, and 59 in Yakima. Okay, here is your coat cast for this Friday for the Tri-Cities. Light jacket stuff through, I'd say, 9 a.m. After that, it's going to be all t-shirt weather. So we'll have high temperatures that will end up in the 80s. So 70s and 80s for lower elevations. Lots of sunshine. Another beautiful day. Those temperatures trending up into the weekend, into the beginning of next week. Talk about that coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
And right now, cameras are rolling again in College Place. The updated regulations impacting how license plate readers are used.
And families get answers about how their loved ones died at a Longview paper mill. The officials' findings from the coroner.
And tragedy strikes a Richland neighborhood. The death of a young child prompting a police investigation.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning and happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Wendy Redman.
And I'm Zoe Salas.
All right, we begin this morning with this story. The Richland Police Department is investigating after a young child was found dead.
Officers were called to a home on the 2300 block of Camden Street after it was reported the child was not breathing. Despite officers and first responders trying to revive the 18-month-old, it was pronounced dead.
The cause has not yet been determined. A 31-year-old man was arrested the next day at that home, but those charges were not related to the death of the child, according to Richland Police. The Pasco School District just notified parents a paraeducator is now fired after reports of inappropriate contact between the para and a student. Here's what we know. According to the district, administrators at Ray Reynolds Middle School received reports about the contact and called the Pasco Police Department. The school district said the paraeducator, who was called a substitute, is no longer an employee. The school district said it is committed to keeping students safe and cooperating with the criminal investigation.
Yakima police are on the hunt for a speed racer at around 1:30 on Thursday. At this Thursday afternoon, an officer tried to stop a reckless motorcyclist riding on a wheelie on North First Street. A passenger was on the back of the bike. YPD says the motorcyclist enticed officers to pursue him throughout the city, Union Gap, and eventually on the interstate westbound toward Ellensburg. They say he rode on sidewalks, incoming lanes of travel, against traffic, and rode at speeds in excess of up to 100 miles per hour. Due to the extreme danger to the public, a pursuit was called off. If you know any information on who the two subjects are, call YPD.
A Washington school superintendent pleaded not guilty to several charges in connection with sexual misconduct allegations involving students. Karen Cloninger appeared in court Wednesday, 2 days after she was placed on unpaid administrative leave by the Longview School Board. She's accused of witness tampering and failing to report abuse or neglect in a case involving students at Mark Morris High School. Investigators say district leaders knew of the allegations as early as January, but didn't report them. 4 other district staffers have also been placed on leave. Cloninger's trial is set for October.
The Cowlitz County Coroner's Office released the cause and manner of death for 10 people killed in the tank explosion at the Nippon Dynawave paper mill in Longview. Officials say 8 victims died from alkaline chemical burns. 1 victim from Oregon died from chemical burns and blunt force injuries. Another victim from Calumet died from alkaline chemical burns and asphyxia due to aspiration of a foreign object. The first confirmed death was 52-year-old Gilbert Bernal from the Yakima area. His brother recently spoke about the loss.
The most unselfish person I've ever met, thought of everyone else before him. His brothers, his wife, his son, his daughter, his grandson. Everything was for them. He was a Christian man, went to church every Saturday.
Bernal's funeral service was held on June 6th in Toppenish, and a GoFundMe has raised almost $32,000 for the family. 11 people in all were killed on May 26th, after a massive tank containing white liquor imploded. State and federal agencies continue to investigate the incident.
Walla Walla County Fire District 5 says around 8 o'clock Wednesday night, they got a call that a man was climbing at Twin Sister and got hit by a rock. A life flight helicopter was called and set to land at Wallula Junction, but officials tell us they were able to walk to him and transport him to Cadillac. Officials say the hiker was alert when taken to the hospital.
We are learning more about the College Place Police Department's decision to reactivate its license plate reader cameras after months of being turned off. The department temporarily shut down its 8 cameras last November while lawmakers considered law changes. The new legislation took effect in March. The cameras are positioned at every point into College Place and were funded through a grant. Before being deactivated, the cameras helped achieve a 72% reduction in auto thefts. CPPD's chief says the new law limits how they use the technology and address privacy concerns.
It does put in protections that we can only use them for investigative purposes for felonies, gross misdemeanors, missing persons, or parking enforcement.
The cameras are scheduled to be reactivated on or around June 15th. The grant funding this program expires this November, and no decision has been made about continuing the program.
Dogs at the Benton County Canine Shelter could soon have more room to run around and play. Shelter volunteers are raising money to build a fenced play yard where dogs can safely exercise off leash, socialize, and spend time outside of their kennels. Shelter staff says the space would not only improve the dog's well-being, but also help potential adopters better see their personalities before bringing them home. The volunteer-led fundraiser is already more than 80% of the way toward its $9,000 goal.
It really gives the dogs a safe place to run and play and just be dogs. Without it, they spend more time in their kennels, they get stressed, they get bored. It just leads to built up energy.
Ogden says this effort is 100% volunteer-based. Tonight, the West Richland Police Department, along with the Chamber of Commerce, is inviting you out to a night out. The event takes place at the Bombing Range Sports Complex, starting at 5 o'clock and going through 9. There's no fee to attend, and it is family-friendly. Food vendors, live music, games, and demonstrations will be there. Organizers say it's about building relationships and creating a stronger, safer community together.
And the Tri-City Raceway in West Richland says the biggest race of the summer is coming July 4th to honor the nation's birthday.
As America celebrates 250 years of freedom, Keelan and I will be taking on some of the best super late model drivers on the West Coast.
Guest drivers Kevin Harvick and Keelan Harvick, who are some of the biggest names in short track racing, will hit the tracks. Organizers say the first ever Cars Tour West Super Late Model race will also happen. The event is being called the Best of the West Freedom 250. It's presented by the Washington Army National Guard, and gates will open at 3 p.m. and tickets go on sale on Friday.
Your time is 5:09 here on your Friday morning. Still to come, power outages, flooding, and tornadoes strike across the country. Do you see that there on your screen? Wow, the severe weather grounding flights and leaving widespread destruction. And Chief Meteorologist Josh Culbreth coming back with more on your weather forecast. Here is a live look out to Kennewick this morning. What a gorgeous shot out there. But hey, we are really dialing up the heat. Find out just how warm it's going to get today and through your weekend on the other side of the break.
In Tri-Cities Real Estate, one group stands above the rest. One group consistently ranks in the top 20% of the region's real estate agents. One group puts a full team of professionals backing your every move to get the best deal at every step. And one group with an award-winning team to give you more insights and help you make more educated decisions. So if you're ready to make your next move with certainty, there's really only one group for you.
Behold, the DQ $7 meal deal with $2 Blizzard upgrade. Proof that saving big doesn't have to mean eating small. Full-sized foods, fully flavorful. It's fulfillment that tastes like fulfillment. Try it with the limited time drumstick with peanuts Blizzard and really let your full flag fly. The $7 meal deal. DQ, happy tastes good.
It's Men's Health Awareness Month. Take charge of your health with regular checkups and know the risks for your age, ethnicity, and lifestyle. More at AppleValleyNewsNow.com.
Sponsored locally by Prosser Memorial Health. Learn more at prosserhealth.org. This is how we care.
This 4th of July, save more at More Furniture. Bring home comfort for as little as $32 a month. Kick your feet up with a diamond reclining sofa for $5.99. Plus, enjoy 60-month special financing. Shop More Furniture's 4th of July sale today.
Jack, tell me one core value you live by.
Good things come to those who order my much better deals for $4.99. Choose between a Junior Jumbo Jack meal or Junior Chicken Sandwich meal. Some say be the change. I say keep the change. Welcome to Jack in the Box.
For 50 years, Shelby's Floral has been your homegrown neighbor, bringing joy and beauty to every occasion.
We're more than just a flower shop and specialize in beautiful custom arrangements, live plants, silk florals, and home decor. Our experienced designers are here to help you with all your floral needs, ensuring that every bouquet is as special as the moment it celebrates. Visit us today on Clearwater in Kennewick. We're part of your community and can't wait to help you celebrate life's moments. Shelby's Floral.
On Dancing with the Stars, The Next Pro. 12 of the best dancers join me for the audition of a lifetime.
I'm here to win.
Woo! This is what hunger looks like.
Nothing is going to stop me.
Now watch me move.
This newscast sponsored by Multicare Yakima Memorial Hospital. Excellence you can trust. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. The models have toned down the heat for next week just a little bit, but it still looks as if we'll end up in the mid-90s by the early parts of next week. Okay, we'll take you back to today for the Yakima Valley. Your day planner forecast is going to be around sunny and 75 at lunchtime and then up into the mid-80s for the warmest part of the day. So once again, for lower elevations, a day with 70s and 80s, 84 for the Tri-Cities, 80 for Walla Walla, 77 for Ellensburg. Okay, it looks as if the peak of the heat wave, earlier this week, models were saying that the peak of the heat wave was going to be Tuesday. Now they're shifting the time frame just a little bit up now. So Monday looks to be the hottest of the days. At this point, will be 17 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. So a deeper dive into Monday, 96 for Yakima, 96 for the Tri-Cities, 97 for the Hanford site. So again, models pulling some of that back, but still objectively pretty hot out there. Let's take it back to today. The UV index on a scale from 1 to 11, it's going to be an 8. So that means that your skin could burn within 15 minutes. Be sure that you're putting on SPF 30 at least, reapplying at least every 2 hours. Okay, and then those pollen counts in the medium-high category for the next couple days, dropping back down into the medium category for Sunday and beyond. The top allergens have changed. They were grasses and locusts. Now it's grasses and nettle. If that applies to you, have the allergy meds on standby. Okay, we are very concerned about a round of winds into next week. The vegetation is going to be extremely dry. We'll talk about those fire concerns coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Now to the severe spring storms across the nation, leaving behind widespread damage, and the threat is not over. Summer-like heat is fueling the system as it moves east. Behind it, many left without power and some with no home. ABC's Sophie Flay has the latest.
Overnight, from the Midwest to the Northeast, Powerful storms impacting more than 90 million Americans as a multi-day severe weather outbreak sweeps across the country. Over 250,000 customers without power in Illinois after multiple tornadoes touched down across the state. This twister carving a path of destruction through the city of Streator.
There goes that house.
Powerful winds tearing apart these homes, sending debris flying. One man getting trapped under the wreckage. A photographer jumped in to help before he was lifted out by first responders. At Chicago's O'Hare Airport, flights brought to a standstill after a ground stop was issued. While at Midway, air traffic controllers forced to evacuate.
There's a tornado warning for the airport. It's supposed to be here in 10 minutes or so. We're evacuating the tower.
Nationwide, more than 1,500 flights canceled and thousands more delayed. In Wisconsin, fallen trees and utility poles littering the roads. And in Iowa, torrential rain swamping communities, with some areas seeing more than 3 inches in a single day. Forecasters say the combination of high heat and humidity is helping fuel these storms. Feels like temperatures could top 100 degrees today along parts of the East Coast. Sophie Flay, ABC News, New York.
In Iowa, police say a 54-year-old man in Des Moines was killed after being struck by a tree that broke apart and fell in a homeless encampment. All right, in terms of our weather back here at home, Josh is coming back to talk about some serious stuff. He is talking about our fire weather danger as we are setting the stage for not one, but multiple potential alert days. What you need to know after this.
So guys, just smile and say, switch to T-Mobile in just 15 minutes and get an iPhone 17 on them.
Switch to T-Mobile in just 15 minutes.
What they're trying to say is you can switch to T-Mobile and get iPhone 17 on us. No trade-in needed.
Why can't we just say cheese?
Okay, cheese.
Plus, T-Mobile customers had the lowest wireless bills versus the other big guys over the past 5 years.
I'm switching and saving. I'm switching and saving.
I'm Usain Bolt, world's fastest man, but I'm here to show that slow can be good too, especially when it comes to a progressive disease like chronic kidney disease. So while I don't have CKD myself, I'm taking it slow to remind you that Jardiance is a little pill proven to slow the progression of CKD, which can lead to dialysis, and it lowers the risk of cardiovascular death too.
Serious side effects include increased ketones in blood or urine and infection between and around the anus and genitals. Both may be fatal. Severe allergic reactions, dehydration, urinary tract or genital yeast infections in men and women, and low blood sugar. Stop taking and tell your doctor right away if you have nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, tiredness, rash, swelling, trouble breathing or swallowing. Tell your doctor about lightheadedness, weakness, fever, pain, tenderness, redness, or swelling between the anus and genitals. You may have increased risk for lower limb loss. Call your doctor right away if you have new pain or tenderness, sores, ulcers, or infection in your legs or feet.
When it comes to your CKD, embrace the slow.
Ask your doctor about Jardiance.
For 50 years, Shelby's Floral has been your homegrown neighbor, bringing joy and beauty to every occasion.
We're more than just a flower shop and specialize in beautiful custom arrangements, live plants, silk florals, and home decor. Our experienced designers are here to help you with all your floral needs, ensuring that every bouquet is as special as the moment it celebrates. Visit us today on Clearwater in Kennewick. We're part of your community and can't wait to help you celebrate life's moments. Shelby's Floral.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We have alert days possible next week, next Tuesday and Wednesday, because it will be gusty. The vegetation is going to be extremely dry out there, but just know that fires could start any day next week. We're going to take this day by day, starting off with Monday. See gusts up around 35 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley. Doesn't look like the winds are going to be a factor for the Yakima Valley, for the basin, or for the foothills. With the vegetation at this point extremely dry, level 5 out of 5 on our scale. Okay, the most dangerous day next week will easily be Tuesday. Look at these gusts for lower elevations, but between 35 to 60 miles per hour. The Kittitas Valley seeing those strongest winds, and the vegetation will be extremely dry once again. So Tuesday is definitely going to be the most dangerous day. If there's a second place, that would be Wednesday. Gusts for lower elevations between 20 to 45 miles per hour. Again, the Kittitas Valley seeing the worst of it. And again, vegetation going to be extremely dry. Okay, then by Thursday, still dealing with breezy weather in the Kittitas Valley. It'll be a little bit breezy for the Blue Foothills as well. Not as much for the Yakima Valley or the Lower Columbia Basin, but again, it'll be extremely dry. We don't have any rain in the forecast over the next 7 days, so everything's going to continue to stay very crispy out there. And it's because we have these areas of high pressure that are going to continue to keep us dry. Now, even though there are these storm systems off the Pacific, they're only going to bring us the winds, and they're not going to bring us any rainfall. So to that point, the precip chances over the next 7 days for the Tri-Cities, forget about it. So please, 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 folks, exercise all the fire safety over the coming days, and we'll definitely have more to say about that as we get closer to these possible alert dates. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. 80s through Saturday, then making a run for 95 degrees by Monday and Tuesday. In Yakima, highs close to 95 degrees to start next week, then a concerning round of winds for Tuesday and Wednesday. For Ellensburg, windy with heightened fire concerns all next week, but with specific emphasis on Tuesday and Wednesday. For Hermiston, turning into a hot and dry forecast with fire danger rising next week. Finally, for Walla Walla, a very summer-like pattern over the next 7 days, with fire weather being the chief concern by the middle of next week.
Oh, wow. A lot to make sure that we're, very fire safe all of the days, but today is looking pretty nice.
Yeah, it is, especially after all that wind, some of those rainy days going.
Yeah, we get a break from the winds, and then they come back with vengeance next week.
What?
No. Yeah, I know it.
All right, well, still ahead, we're talking movies and music. Brad Pitt and his combat dog face the ultimate survival test. Plus, a disco classic gets the vinyl treatment. All that and more, stay tuned.
At Ace, however you grill, we've got the perfect one for you. Because only your local Ace has all the best brands in one place, like Weber, Big Green Egg, Traeger, and Blackstone. That sounds pretty perfect.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Macy's Friends and Family Sale is your chance to save 30% on our best brands and new summer arrivals, and 15% on must-have fragrances too. Or members can earn even faster, only at Macy's Friends and Family Sale, going on now.
I have active psoriatic arthritis, but want to move with more freedom. So I'm ready to jump in with Skyrizi. Along with clearer skin, Skyrizi helps me move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. And it's just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and TB. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi.
At Prosser Digestive Health Center, find expert care close to home. Services include colonoscopy screenings, care for swallowing problems and esophageal motility disorders, GERD, celiac disease, and nutrition-related GI conditions. To schedule an appointment, call Prosser Digestive Health Center, 509-786-5599, or learn more at prosserhealth.org. Digestive health close to home. This is how we care.
Slow down, look around, feel at home. Kittitas County invites you to experience the heart of small-town life. From sunrise coffee stops and welcoming Main Street stays to scenic trails, family-owned restaurants, local wineries, hometown breweries, handcrafted shops, and more. Plan your small-town getaway with the Love Local Passport, a curated guide to the best of Kittitas County. Download the Passport, plan your stay for a true small-town escape at centralwashingtonoutdoor.com.
At Fred's Appliance, we've been locally owned and family operated since 1962. Founded by a veteran and built on service. Swing in today to find all brands and all styles on sale. From the durability of Frigidaire to the innovative technology of GE, find your next refrigerator at Fred's. Shop the largest supply of in-stock, get-it-today inventory in the region, only at your local Fred's Appliance.
Welcome back, everybody. Time now for your movie and music news.
Yeah, Brad Pitt teams up with a four-legged co-star in his newest film, and a magical goldfish swims back into theaters.
Well, here's David Daniel with today's Hollywood Minute.
We still do this. We've been through worse.
Brad Pitt plays a retired Special Forces officer who's stranded with his combat dog in the Alaskan wilderness in Heart of the Beast. The first trailer for the survival drama just dropped. Heart of the Beast lands in theaters September 25th. It's the 50th anniversary of ABBA's Dancing Queen. To mark the occasion, the group is re-releasing its biggest hit on both sparkly and classic black vinyl and remastered at Abbey Road Studios on August 14th.
To become human, you must choose to abandon magic.
Hanyo returns to theaters. The family favorite from Oscar winner Hayao Miyazaki about a magical goldfish who yearns to be human kicks off this year's Studio Ghibli Fest with screenings June 13th through the 17th. Locations and showtimes at fathomentertainment.com. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
I'm all about the Dancing Queen vibes this morning.
Me too. What a stacked lineup weekend they got there.
Yeah, for sure.
They got ABBA, we got Ponyo and Brad Pitt. How about that?
Guys, I've never seen Mamma Mia before.
I haven't either.
Thank you.
Both
Thank
of you
you.
need to add that to your list right now. Come on.
I feel vindicated.
Oh
Thank
my
you
gosh,
so much,
you don't even know Dancing Queen then.
I never help in the entertainment talks that we have
I'll make
up
you
here.
guys
I'm
a list.
like, I need to get with the times. All right. Well, still to come. Benton County steps up mosquito surveillance after the West Nile virus hits Prosser, the early warning from health officials.
Plus, the Washington Supreme Court hears oral arguments about the Horse Heaven Wind Farm project. The appeal brought by the Yakima Nation and Tri-Cities Cares. And now, but first, here are your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Waymo is launching a new monthly membership. For now, Waymo Premier is invite only. It offers priority pickups, discounts on future rides, and 5 free cancellations for $30 a month. Critics say Uber and Lyft have similar memberships for just $10. Next, a newly developed fabric can produce water. University of Texas researchers say it collects moisture from the air and can produce up to 30 ounces of drinkable water per day. They believe the technology can be used for emergency responses in remote places or by hikers and extreme athletes. And finally, what the new Trump-branded phone is really made of. Experts at the parts company iFixit say the Trump Mobile T1 is almost identical to the HTC handset, which is made by a Taiwanese company with Chinese parts. They say there are only minor cosmetic differences and a slightly stronger battery. Those are your Tech Bites.
Introducing B of A Rewards, a new loyalty program that grows with you and celebrates what you do. Like taking a big step, a big trip, or a little ride. Open or enroll your Bank of America checking account to get started. B of A Rewards. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America.
Did you know your choice of toothpaste is as important to gum health as brushing and flossing? Try Crest Gum Detoxify. It penetrates gum pockets to eliminate the trapped plaque that brushing can't reach for healthier gums in just 2 weeks. Try Crest.
Oh, what is that musty smell?
Oh, damp.
Damn. Oh, damn.
Hey, language.
Damprid traps excess moisture to eliminate musty smells. Get rid of the damp with Damprid.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good morning. It's great to have you with us here for Good Morning Northwest, kickstarting your Friday. I'm Wendy Redman.
And I'm Zoe Salas.
All right. Also, to kickstart our Friday, we do need to get a check on weather.
Yes, we do. Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth, what do we got going on today?
Yeah, it's going to be another beautiful day out there, but unfortunately the forecast is going to stay dry, trending hotter, and the winds picking up into next week. So we do have alert days possible, as there is a very dangerous fire setup that is shaping up for next week. Okay, for this morning, it is a little bit breezy in the valleys, especially in the Kittitas Valley. Elsewhere, winds not a factor. Temperatures are mild out there, definitely milder in comparison to yesterday morning. 54 for the Tri-Cities, 58 for Walla Walla, and 59 for Yakima. Okay, speaking of Yakima, here's your coatcast for this Friday. Light jacket weather through 9 a.m., 10 a.m. after that. It's going to be all t-shirt weather, as once again, for today, we'll have plenty of sunshine, highs for lower elevations getting up into the 70s and 80s, but the temperatures trending up. We'll talk about the heat. Also an update on those climate numbers coming up in a few minutes.
Benton County Mosquito Control is stepping up their efforts this morning after West Nile virus cases arrived in our region. 4 crows just found dead in Prosser tested positive for the virus, according to authorities. Benton County Mosquito Control is increasing surveillance, trapping and testing mosquitoes for signs of the virus. Health officials say the discovery serves as an early warning that infected mosquitoes are circulating in the area.
West Nile virus season is among us, and that we have hit that part of the season. And so we will continue to check and treat standing water. We will continue to trap for those adult mosquitoes and test them.
Health officials recommend using insect repellent, wearing long sleeves during peak mosquito hours, and eliminating standing water where mosquitoes breed. Officials say residents should stay vigilant through September, when transmission risk is the highest.
And the Yakima Nation says that the state of Washington did not follow proper procedures while planning the Horse Heaven Wind Farm project. The Washington Supreme Court listened to oral arguments Thursday morning in an appeal brought forward by the Yakima Nation and Tri-Cities Cares. They say that approving the projects as it stands would cause significant harm to the Yakima Nation, and they say it's going overlooked.
The Washington legislature required FSEC to balance the state's energy needs against the environmental harms of the largest wind, solar, and battery storage project ever proposed in the state. That did not happen here.
Officials from the Energy Facility Evaluation Council argue that they did properly study all potential harms. The case has now been submitted following Thursday morning's oral arguments.
Sunnyside Mayor Vicky Frosto is speaking out after being targeted by a recall petition circulating online. That petition, which also calls for the recall of Councilmember Julia Hart, encourages residents to sign in order to remove the mayor from office. It claims Mayor Frosto is violating several state codes, saying she shared confidential information with others and interfered with the interim city manager's hiring authority. Mayor Frosto says she feels the petition lacks merit.
It's just rhetoric, and it's destruction, and it is false. And I will continue doing the work again that I was meant to do while I am elected and while I am here, and that is to center the community and their needs.
Mayor Frosto adds the petition does not have a court order from a judge. The petition is calling for its first signing event on the 4th of July.
And meanwhile, Sunnyside is starting its search for their next city manager. The council has directed interim city manager Pat Haley to start the process with consultant Colin Bassinger. The city has been without a permanent city manager for months, and after Mike Gonzalez was terminated in October 2025, Jim Bridges served as interim manager for a few months until Haley took over.
I do encourage constituents and our people from Sunnyside to just kind of keep connected with the process. We're going to make sure that we conduct a very transparent and very community engaged process as much as we can to make sure that we really truly get a visionary leader.
The next Sunnyside City Council meeting is scheduled for Monday, June 22nd at 6 p.m., where public comment on the issue will be welcomed.
We have good news for drivers cruising through the city of Yakima this morning. WashDOT says the westbound Interstate 82 off-ramp at exit 31 to North 1st Street is now back open to traffic. The Washington State Department of Transportation closed the ramp Tuesday after maintenance crews discovered a loose bridge expansion joint. Crews say they spent most of Wednesday repairing and stabilizing the joint, allowing the ramp to reopen. Your time is 5:34 this morning. Still to come, a revolutionary plant opens in Moses Lake, the facility producing sustainable aviation fuel. And here is a live look out to Pasco this morning. Gorgeous shot here overlooking the Dust Devils area as well. When we come back, we are talking about your weather. We are entering a bit of a dry stretch here. Find out what that means for your weekly climate report on the other side of the break.
Dancing with the Stars, The Next Pro. 12 of the best dancers join me for the audition of a lifetime.
I'm here to win.
Woo! This is what hunger looks like.
Nothing is gonna stop me.
Now watch me move.
Now earn up to 4 times the rewards with the ICCU Premier Rewards Visa credit card. It's the credit card from the credit union you love.
Lifetime Dental is committed to providing the best dental care in the Tri-Cities by treating patients like family, as well as providing a healthy work-life balance for the team. Hear what their doctors have to say.
So I'm a general dentist who focuses on Invisalign, airway dentistry, and early interceptive orthodontics. We have such a diverse group of providers, and they all have their own special subset of skills and area of expertise and things that they really enjoy doing. I mean, we have a really broad variety of skill sets here, and so I think it's really nice to be able to have all that collaboration in-house to be able to treat our patients. I think balance is my biggest accomplishment. I'm a mom of 4 as well, and so that work-life balance I think is my biggest accomplishment. Being able to have a professional career and also balancing that family life, I think to me feels like a pretty big accomplishment.
Lifetime Dental Care, located at Queensgate, voted best dentist in the Tri-Cities 9 times.
Don't be worried or overwhelmed with moving into a retirement home. Piper Barton is your turnkey resource for premier 55-plus communities. From repairs and packing to prepping, listing, and selling your current home, all managed with white glove care. Piper Barton delivers quality resources and smooth timelines. You can expect discretion, clarity, and results from start to sold. Sit down and have a simple conversation with Piper Barton about next steps today.
I did not picture myself surviving through that day.
He was tracking her.
He was everywhere.
I've been kidnapped.
2020 tonight on ABC and stream on Disney Plus and Hulu.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. It is that time of the week. Once again, time to talk about those climate numbers. We start off with the seasonal rainfall surpluses and deficits that we've been tracking since October 1st of 2025. See, we have a mixed bag here. Surpluses of about +5 to +15% for the Kittitas Valley and for the Lower Columbia Basin, but we now have deficits of about -5 to -15% for the Yakima Valley and for the Blue Foothills. All right, big news here in the Yakima Basin as now for the reservoirs. If you tallied up all the water in the Yakima Basin, in the reservoirs, we now officially have a deficit of just 1%. And we're still 24 percentage points away from the severe drought benchmark, but this is significant right here. We've officially run out of snow in the Yakima Basin. That typically doesn't happen until July 3rd, so it's happening 3 weeks prematurely, which means that the reservoir levels in the Yakima Basin are going to sink and sink fast over the next few weeks. Okay, Mackay Dam at negative 26% right now, already at the severe drought benchmark, and we've been out of snow for quite some time in the blue, so no point in tracking that. Okay, from climate to weather, our weather is going to be hot for the beginning of next week. Now for today, it's going to be toasty out there, or warm at the very least, 70s and 80s for lower elevations. But by the time we get to Monday and Tuesday of next week, mid-90s in the Tri-Cities, that's going to be about 15 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. Our vegetation is going to get very crispy out there. Winds are returning into next week. Fire danger going way up. Talk about that coming up in a few minutes.
And thank you so much for that, Josh. As we near the 250th anniversary of America, Moses Lake is taking a big step forward in the community's aviation history. Apple Valley News Now William Albert spoke with officials about the opening of a new sustainable aviation fuel plant that could mean big things for the future of aviation.
Moses Lake is taking off once again, however this time through a new kind of energy production. This week, Moses Lake became home to Air Plant 1, the first commercial-scale facility in the United States producing E-Jet sustainable aviation fuel using captured CO2, renewable electricity, and water. The facility, developed by 12, officially opened Wednesday and marks the company's first commercial operation as it looks to electrify how fuels are produced. Washington Governor Bob Ferguson, who attended the ribbon cutting alongside industry partners, said the project fits into the state's long-term clean energy goals.
Clean fuels are a priority for us here in Washington State, and sustainable aviation fuel is certainly the future of the industry. It's good for the environment, it's good for our state's economy, it's good for local jobs. And 12 is certainly leading in this way.
Officials say the facility uses a process known as power-to-liquid technology, capturing CO2, combining it with water and electricity, and turning those inputs into synthetic hydrocarbon fuels that can be used in existing aircraft without modification. Company leaders said the goal is to build a more domestic and stable fuel supply using electricity rather than traditional petroleum sources used across the country.
So that's what we mean by building products from the molecule up. We start with CO2 and water, and we end up with these hydrocarbons, next generation synthetic hydrocarbons that can drop into our existing supply chains, our existing transportation systems, and allow us to make products without relying on conventional feedstocks.
12 says the project also represents a major commercial step for the industry, with Alaska Airlines expected to use fuel produced at the facility for regular domestic flights. Company leaders say partnerships like these are what helps move the project from development into commercial operation.
We're working to make this state the place for sustainable aviation fuel, this region for sustainable aviation fuel. It starts with policy, it starts with great partnerships, and it starts with technology. And I think all of those things together, we have that here in this region. And to me, that's why we are lucky to have a new plant.
Local leaders say Air Plant 1 also puts Moses Lake in a unique position as the facility begins producing fuel for commercial use while testing how the technology can grow in the future.
Again, this is the test facility. They're not doing it at a massive scale, but they do have enough to where they'll be able to start entering that into the market. I think specifically to their customers, Alaska being a big one. And then from there, as they ramp up, they'll be able to sell more into the market.
While the plant is just beginning operations, state and industry leaders say projects like these could help shape the future of aviation fuel and clean manufacturing both in Washington and across the country in coming years. Governor Bob Ferguson says the project is all a part of Washington's identity as a leader and an example of renewable energy done right for the rest of the country.
Washington is, thanks to partners like 12 and everybody else involved, we're not just a local leader, we're not just a state leader, we're not just a national and international leader, we're a universe leader in this technology.
Leaders with 12 say Air Plant 1 is just the start, with the company hoping to expand its power-to-liquid technology to future facilities and additional fuel and chemical products. In Moses Lake, William Albert, Apple Valley News Now.
Officials say the fuel produced at Air Plant 1 is already meeting commercial aviation standards and is expected to begin entering the aviation market through existing airline partners. All right, your time is 5:43, and coming up we have everything you need to know in your morning sprint. Taking a look over at the rodeo grounds in Ellensburg, and we have Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth with your possible alert days coming up this next week.
In the Yakima Valley, our community is built on hard work, family, and growing something for the future. As another school year ends, we celebrate our graduates and their futures as leaders, farmers, and innovators. But sometimes tradition means looking the other way, telling ourselves it's safer at home or everyone's doing it. Truth is, most parents in our community don't approve of underage drinking and don't want it for their kids. At 17 and 18, teen brains are still developing, making them more vulnerable to alcohol's effects. And in Washington state, supplying alcohol to minors can mean a $5,000 fine and up to a year in jail. We have better traditions, like celebrating milestones together, substance-free. Set clear boundaries. Protect their future. Don't let one tradition define their future or yours. Parents who host lose the most.
Chevy Silverado drivers will do a lot in the next 5 years. For their families, for their communities. But here's one thing they won't do: pay interest on their new truck. Just announced, for a limited time, get 0% financing for 5 years on all 2026 Silverado 1500 models. Take on new adventures, make new memories, and leave the interest behind.
See your community Chevy dealers.
Another day, same pain, same meds, same struggling for symptom relief. Injections like Humira and Enbrel work similarly to treat moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis or psoriatic arthritis. But if your symptoms haven't improved enough, Rinvoq works differently. It's a once-daily pill that can rapidly relieve RA and PSA joint pain, stiffness, and swelling, as fast as 2 weeks for some. Even after 3 years, many people felt this relief. In PSA, Rinvoq can leave skin noticeably clearer.
Rinvoq can lower ability to fight infections. Before treatment, test for TB and do blood work. Serious infections, blood clots, some fatal, cancers including lymphoma and skin, serious allergic reactions, GI tears, death, heart attack, and stroke occurred. CV event risk increases in age 50 plus with a heart disease risk factor. Tell your doctor if you've had these events: infection, Hep B or C, smoked, are pregnant, or planning. Don't take if allergic or have an infection.
Do something different. Ask your doctor if switching to Rinvoq is right for you.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We do have alert days possible in the next week. Tuesday and Wednesday, big time fire concerns, but really every single day next week we'll have the concern for fires to start. So we'll take it day by day, but just know Tuesday and Wednesday are going to be the most dangerous days, okay? For Monday, it will be windy in the Kittitas Valley. Not nearly as much for the Yakima Valley, the Lower Columbia Basin, or the Blue Foothills, but look at our vegetation dryness by Monday, okay? And at this point, highs are going to be in the mid-90s. Vegetation is going to be extremely dry, maxing out our scale. We typically don't see values like this until July or August, so this is going to be like peak fire season kind of stuff. Easily the most concerning day next week is going to be Tuesday. Lower elevations could see gusts between 35 to 60 miles per hour. I mean, look at some of those gusts for the Kittitas Valley. And again, the vegetation is going to be extremely dry. All right, then for Wednesday, this would come in second place. Gusts for lower elevations between 20 to 45 miles per hour. Again, it's going to be the Kittitas Valley that'll see the worst of the gusts. And again, the vegetation will be extremely dry. Finally, for Thursday, still windy for the Kittitas Valley, just breezy for the Blue Foothills. More of a break this time for the Yakima Valley and the Lower Columbia Basin. But again, the vegetation going to be extremely dry until we get a significant downturn in temperatures, or until we get some decent wetting rainfall. Like, this is kind of going to be where we're going to live for the time being, which is, again, very concerning. And it's because the forecast going to stay dry. We have this strong area of high pressure. You see these storm systems building off in the Pacific. All they're going to bring us are winds, no rain chances. So to underscore that, no precip chances in the Yakima Valley over the next 7 days. fingers crossed we can get through next week without any significant fires, but that means that everyone's going to have to be on their P's and Q's when it comes to fire safety. We will see about that. Here's a 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. 80s through Saturday, then making a run for 95 degrees by Monday and Tuesday. In Yakima, highs close to 95 degrees to start next week, then a concerning round of winds for Tuesday and Wednesday. For Ellensburg, it'll be windy all week with heightened fire concerns, but with specific emphasis on Tuesday and Wednesday. For Hermiston, turning into a hot and dry forecast with fire danger rising next week. Finally, for Walla Walla, a very summer-like pattern over the next 7 days, with fire weather obviously being the chief concern by the middle of next week.
Now, the morning sprint.
The Richland Police Department is investigating after a baby was found dead. Officers were called to a home on the 2300 block of Camden Street after it was reported the child was not breathing. Despite officers and first responders trying to revive the 18-month-old, it was pronounced dead. The cause has not yet been determined. A 31-year-old man was arrested the next day, though, at that home, but those charges, we are told, were not related to the death of the child. The Cowlitz County Coroner's Office released the cause and manner of death for 10 people killed in the tank implosion at the Nippon Dynawave paper mill in Longview. Officials say 8 victims died from alkaline chemical burns. 1 victim from Oregon died from chemical burns and blunt force injuries. Another victim from Cathlamet died from alkaline chemical burns and asphyxia due to aspiration of a foreign object.
West Nile virus has arrived in our region after 4 crows found dead and Prosser tested positive for the virus. Benton County Mosquito Control is now stepping up surveillance, trapping and testing mosquitoes for signs of the virus. Health officials recommend using insect repellent, wearing long sleeves during peak mosquito hours, and eliminating standing water where mosquitoes breed. And Sunnyside Mayor Vicky Frosto is speaking out after being targeted by a recall petition circulating online. The petition, which also calls for the recall of council member Julia Hart, is to remove the mayor from office. It claims Mayor Frosto is violating several state codes, but she feels the petition lacks merit.
Sunnyside is starting its search for their next city manager. The council has directed interim city manager Pat Haley to start the process with consultant Colin Basinger. The city has been without a permanent city manager for months after Mike Gonzalez was terminated in October of 2025. Jim Bridges served as interim manager for a few months until Haley took over.
And parts of the Pentagon went into lockdown along with some evacuations on Thursday morning after a false alarm from a hazardous material sensor. And at the time, a Pentagon spokesperson said facility systems detected an air quality issue. A shelter-in-place order followed with multiple floors and corridors locked down. First responder radio traffic indicated the system detected the possible presence of anthrax. And there's an effort to keep President Trump's name on the Kennedy Center building. On Thursday, a board of trustees hand-selected by the president voted to appeal a judge's ruling that ordered the removal of Trump's name from the structure. Federal Judge Casey Cooper said the board violated the law when it added Trump's name to the legendary venue, and he ordered the name to be removed within 14 days.
In business news now, Red Lobster is running an interesting contest as its endless shrimp promotion winds down. For one winner, it could go on for 25 years. The chain is giving away a steel card that grants its holder a free endless shrimp meal once a month for 25 years. But not only that, Red Lobster says the winner will also get a biometric safe and a year of jiu-jitsu classes. A new government report released Thursday shows wholesale inflation rose sharply in May, driven largely by the ongoing Iran oil shock. The producer price index jumped more than 1% last month and pushed the annual rate to 6.5%. That is the highest level in more than 3 years. Economists watch this report closely because rising business costs may trickle down to consumers in the months ahead.
And for health, 2 new studies are linking declining birth rates with the arrival of the smartphone. A global birth rate decline began in 2007, the same year Apple introduced the iPhone. And one study published Monday in the National Bureau of Economic Research found the iPhone caused about half the fertility decline between 2007 and 2011. The most pronounced effects were among people under 24. And New York State health officials detected a rare case of Lyme disease after collecting ticks from a wooded area near a home where a resident tested positive for the disease. Multiple deer ticks tested positive for a rare bacteria linked to often severe cases of Lyme disease. Researchers have now increased their surveillance of ticks, wildlife, and human infections as a precaution.
Talking sports, Wimbledon announced its largest prize fund, but it's still less than what athletes fought for. The oldest and most prestigious tennis tournament in the world is increasing this year's prize fund by 20% over last year to nearly $86 million. That means the men's and women's singles winners will walk away with $4.8 million each. A campaign by some of the top pro athletes in tennis was seeking a 22% increase in line with what tour events pay. Knicks fans flooded the streets of New York City after Wednesday night's historic comeback win in Game 4 of the NBA Finals, but the celebration quickly got out of hand. The NYPD took more than 50 people into custody, and 10 officers were injured during crowd control efforts outside of Madison Square Garden. Up to 10,000 fans packed the streets, blocking traffic, setting off fireworks, climbing scaffolding, and smashing police car windshields. Time now for what's trending. Grab your popcorn. Today is National Movie Night.
Yeah, National Movie Night falls on the second Friday of June each year. It celebrates the tradition of movie nights with friends and family.
And whether you're watching it at the theater, on your couch, or maybe at the drive-thru, this is your chance to soak in some of Hollywood's latest and greatest. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Ooh, drive-thrus.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever been to a movie drive-thru?
I have. Have you?
Or a drive-in, I guess we should say, right?
In,
but
like
you can tell by the way I'm talking about it that I have never been.
They're so fun. It's like a completely different experience.
I've been to a lot of drive-thrus, never drive-in though.
Yeah, me too. Well, I'll get fries with that.
Yeah. All right, well, we have Taylor Swift who made history in New York as she was inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame on Thursday.
Absolutely. The 36-year-old singer became the youngest woman ever to receive the honor, delivering an emotional 20-minute acceptance speech.
Swift thanked her family for moving from Pennsylvania to Nashville so she could hone in on her craft, and she called her career path absolute magical chaos and said songwriting was the easiest thing she ever did because it was instinctual for her.
And director Steven Spielberg presented Swift with the honor.
Oh my goodness, Spielberg presenting to Swift.
Yeah.
What a lineup.
Really, and I am a huge Swiftie. I'm letting you guys know now, so
we've been warned.
Yeah, Josh has been warned. Yeah. Now Wendy.
I'm a minor Swiftie, I would call myself. Like, I follow along, and I really appreciate her music. I like it.
Yeah.
You like it? Minor Swiftie?
Minor Swiftie as well.
Super minor Swiftie.
I'm going to make the major, don't worry.
All right, your time is 5:57. Up next on Good Morning Northwest at 6 o'clock, a Washington school superintendent faces charges after being placed on unpaid leave. Her plea in a case involving sexual misconduct allegations involving students.
Plus, a new play yard could help shelter dogs find forever homes. The final stretch to reach the fundraising goal.
And we have another beautiful day ahead of us, but some very concerning fire weather into next week. I'll tell you all the ins and outs of that coming up on Good Morning Northwest at 6.